Summary and dates of sacred history. The Old Testament. The time of the patriarchs. Around 1750, Abraham. Between the year 2000 and 1750, the two great powers of the Middle East, Egypt and Mesopotamia, underwent a period of intense political upheavals. It was then that nomads, whose means of living was the rearing of goats and lambs. Around 1600, Jacob, Hebrews and Egyptian, occupied in Palestine the places left behind by the Canaanites, who after 1,000 years had founded in these regions small and numerous kingdoms. The Bible talks to us about some great figures who left their names in the memory of these nomadic clans, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, among others. It is with them that the adventure of the people of God begins. They are the patriarchs. 1750 to 1550, slavery in Egypt. For almost 2 centuries, Egypt was governed by foreign prince of Asian origin, who favored the arrival of nomads searching for pastures in the Nile Delta. Among them were the clans from Palestine, who later will be part of the people of Israel. The descent to Egypt of the children of Jacob refers to this period. The Exodus and the Conquest, around 1250 Exodus. Under the kingdom of Ramses II, some nomads flee to Egypt under the leadership of Moses to escape from slave labor. This is the Exodus, the flight from Egypt. While going through the desert, the nomads live in the mountain of Horeb, a unique experience which will be decisive for the future of Israel. In Kadesh, a place of pilgrimage of the nomads, the clans of Moses shared a new faith with other tribes. 1200 to 1030, time of Joshua and the Judges, settlement in Palestine. The nomads who entered Palestine with Joshua united with those who had been in the country. Towards the end of the second millennium, frequent conflicts occurred between the Canaanites from the interior cities and the Philistine settlers on the hills. Slowly, the nomads were able to impose their law. The tribes learned to live a certain sense of solidarity with a greater trust in the God who saves. 1030 to 1010, establishment of the monarchy Saul, the first king of Israel. The frequent conflicts and the lack of unity forced the tribes to ask for a king to be their leader. Saul from the tribe of Benjamin is chosen. His reign without glory will help clarify the respective roles of the prophet and of the king. Israel will not be a kingdom like the others since it is God's people. 1010 to 970, reign of David. Saul dies in the battle of Gilboa. David is consecrated king of Israel by Samuel. He reshapes the unity of a people that was again torn apart by tribal feuds. He conquers Jerusalem, which was outside the territories of the tribes, and makes it the capital. Military campaigns consolidate the sovereignty of Israel over the small surrounding kingdoms. The time of the kings, 970 to 931, Solomon. Solomon, son of David, adopts the concept of the Oriental kings by taking foreign wives with their gods and their cultic practices. He builds the temple on an elevated area, dominating the city, and builds his palace nearby. On high, God and king, and below the people, a politics of prestige, mainly at the expense of the northern tribes. 931, the Schism. The crowning of Rehoboam in Shechem is the occasion for the northern tribes to present their complaints to the new king. His refusal to listen to them provokes rebellion. The northern and central tribes organize themselves as an independent kingdom that will keep the name Kingdom of Israel. The south, remaining faithful to the descendants of David, will become the Kingdom of Judah. The Golden Age of the Prophets, 931 to 721, the time of the two kingdoms. After the schism, the two kingdoms often live in conflict, worsening the difficulties coming from external aggression. In Israel, as well as in Judah, the prophets will unceasingly recall the marvels God had done in favor of their fathers. They proclaim fidelity to the demands of the covenant and the conversion of the heart. Through daily contact with the Canaanites, the kingdom of Israel lets itself be attracted by the cult of idols and accepts pagan customs. The intervention of the prophets Elijah, Elisha, and Hosea, the kingdom of the north experiences the instability of human institutions, coup d'etat, and the changes of dynasties multiply. 721, fall of Samaria and exile to Nineveh, the kingdom of Judah remains. The awakening of Assyria in the 8th century brings to an end the kingdom of the north. The country is invaded and part of the population is deported to Nineveh. Others take their place, and since then, Samaria becomes a province of the Assyrian Empire. In spite of its mistakes, the kingdom of Judah experiences another failure. Faithful to his promise, God maintains on the throne the descendants of David. Then the intervention of the kings to ensure the clerical authority of the Temple of Jerusalem and the intervention of the priests in favor of the legitimate kings. It is in the kingdom of Judah that God calls the largest number of witnesses to his word. Some of the great prophets lived during the 8th and 7th centuries: Isaiah, Micah, Zephaniah, and Jeremiah. The expectation for the Messiah and of a new age takes shape. Miraculous liberation of Jerusalem in 701. Offensive return of paganism under Assyrian pressure and reform of King Josiah. Assyrian and Chaldean invasions. Double siege of Jerusalem. The city falls captive. The elites are deported to Babylon. The exile. The destruction of Jerusalem and of the temple is a dreadful test of faith. This time, God did not intervene. Had he forgotten his promises, or was he powerless? 587. The destruction of Jerusalem and of the temple. This is a decisive turning point for Israel's faith. The prophet Ezekiel affirms to the deported people that God is with them in their exile. If they convert, God will have them back in their native land. But the question at hand is whether or not the kingdom of Israel will be reestablished under the guidance of better shepherds than the previous ones. 587 to 538. The Babylonian captivity. The second Isaiah opens new perspectives. The humiliations of Israel were allowed by God to prepare it for a worldwide task. Its weakness will be its strength, because the final word of God is not his power but his love. This revelation is so new that the majority of the exiles forget the message, and they will have no other goal than the restoration of the ancient kingdom of David. 538. The Edict of Cyrus. Cyrus the Persian successively conquers the kingdoms of the Middle East and builds up a vast empire. As ruler of Babylon, he authorizes the deported population to go back to their places of origin. Jewish caravans return to Jerusalem. The Jews rebuild the holy city and the temple. The Jewish community after the exile. 520 to 515. Construction of the Second Temple. A considerable task takes place in Judaism under the leadership of Ezra. It is at that time that the majority of the Old Testament books are somewhat definitely fixed, especially the Law or Torah. 445 to 398. Mission of Ezra and Nehemiah. The clergy takes a dominant role in Israel. The country, a province of the Persian Empire, had lost its independence. The priests, servants of the only temple, ensured the unity of the people of God. 336 to 323. Alexander the Great conquers the Persian Empire. From Macedonia, Alexander puts an end to the armies of Darius, and advances as far as India. At his death, 12 years later, he leaves behind an empire which his successors divide among themselves. Thus, Palestine is taken by the Seleucids, who ruled in Antioch of Syria, and the Lagides or Ptolemies, who ruled in Egypt. Hellenism, the great culture, conquers the Middle East. Strong tension in the Jewish community between those open to the Greek culture which conquered the Middle East and those attached to the ancient traditions. Beginning of the Hasidic movement, the religious from which will come the Pharisees and the Essenes. 167 to 154, the Great Persecution. Antiochus the fourth, king of Syria, plunders the treasures of the Jerusalem temple to reorganize an army. This sacrilege and the following repression lead to the rebellion of the priest Mattathias, followed by his sons Judas Maccabeus, Jonathan and Simon. After fierce fights and cruel persecutions, the Jews recover their independence. Simon Maccabeus, high priest and king, begins a dynasty where political and religious powers are united under one person. The dream of a great kingdom of David was enkindled once more. Reconquest of faraway territories, taking advantage of the decadence of the Syrian kingdom. 63. Pompey conquers Jerusalem. The Hasmonean Maccabean dynasty falls into the decadence. The last Hasmonean fight for power. Pompey, in the name of Rome, profits from this and takes over the country. 34 to 4 BC, Herod the Great, under Rome's control. After years of intrigues, Herod the Great, a foreigner, marries a Hasmonean. He makes his rivals disappear and convinces Rome to name him king. Although the high priests are appointed by the existing power, their appointment is not for life. They are at the head of the party of the Sadducees. The Zealots become a terrorist movement against the Roman occupation with the exorbitant taxes from Rome collected by the publicans, famine, unemployment, yet much work absorbed the manpower. 19. Reconstruction of the Temple. Herod begins the reconstruction of the Temple. The Gospels, 4 BC to 6 AD. Archelaus and Herod Antipas. About 2 years before Herod's death, Jesus is born. Great turmoils at the death of Herod. Emperor Augustus gives Judea to Archelaus and Galilee to his brother Antipas. Rome, displeased with the bad reign of Archelaus, removes him from power and sends him to Gallia in Vienna. Judea is then placed under the direct administration of the Roman governor of Syria. Zealot terrorism in Galilee and repression. 6 to 39 AD, the period of the Roman procurators. Roman procurators rule over Caesarea across the sea, which Rome has made the new capital of Palestine. The most well-known Roman procurators is Pontius Pilate, who will condemn Jesus to death. Galilee, an allied kingdom, is given to Herod Antipas. Herod's intrigues will eventually lead to his exile. 27 to 30, the years of the Gospel. In the autumn of the year 27, the preaching of John the Baptist, and the beginning of the public life of Jesus. Passover of the year 28, first ascent of Jesus to Jerusalem. John 2, verse 13. Year 29, John the Baptist is executed in the fortress of Macarius. Year 30, Jesus is crucified, most probably on the eve of the Passover, April 7, year 30. He rises on the day following the Sabbath. Apostolic times, summary and dates, historical data, data from the Acts of the Apostles and the Epistles, letters of the Apostles. So, these are divided into three. Again, historical data, the first, the second, data from the Acts of the Apostles and the Epistles, and then the third column, letters of the Apostles. Under the table of data from the Acts of the Apostles and the Epistles, historical data, empty. Year 30. At Pentecost, the birth of a Hebrew-speaking Christian community in Jerusalem. Under the column of letters of the Apostles, oral tradition, then written in Hebrew liturgy or in Aramaic catechesis. Second, historical data empty. Second, data from the Acts of the Apostles and the Epistles from the year 30 to 36. Christian communities in Judea, Galilee, and Damascus, the beginning of a Greek-speaking community in Jerusalem. Under the letter of the Apostles, first writings in Greek by the Hellenists. Historical data number 3. Autumn 36, Pilate is called back to Rome. Data from the Acts number 3. This departure could explain why the Sanhedrin dares to have Stephen stoned to death. Acts 7 verse 57, year 36. Letters of the Apostles, third empty. And number 4, under the data from the Acts of the Epistles, not Acts of the Epistles, Acts of the Apostles and the Epistles. End of year 36, conversion of Paul on his way to Damascus, Acts 9. Historical data, Nabatean king Aretas IV dies in 39 or 40. Years 38 to 39, Paul escapes Damascus and goes to Jerusalem and Tarsus. 2 Corinthians 11, verse 32, Galatians 1, verse 18. Number 5, years 39 to 40, the beginning of the Church of Antioch. At the same time, Peter goes to Caesarea to baptize Cornelius, Acts 10 to 11. Historical data, year 41. Emperor Claudius in Rome, he appoints Herod Agrippa I as king of Judea and Samaria. Year 43. Herod Agrippa had James, the brother of John, executed. Peter is freed from prison and escapes most probably to Antioch, Acts 12. James, brother of the Lord, heads the Church of Jerusalem. Years 43 to 44, most probably the incident between Peter and Paul happens in Antioch. Galatians 2 verse 11. Year 44, death of Herod Agrippa, Judea, becomes a Roman province again. Commentary about his death in Acts 12 verse 20. Between 44 and 48, the first mission of Paul, Acts 13 verse 1, Cyprus and Pisidia, the return to Antioch in 48, Acts 14 verse 27. Year 48, famine in the east and in the west, prophecy of Agabus, Acts 11 verse 27, 49 verse 14 years after his conversion, Paul brings alms to Jerusalem, Galatians 2 verse 1, 2 verse 10, Acts 11 verse 29, the Council of Jerusalem on the question of circumcision of the pagans, Galatians 2 verse 2, Acts 15, Paul in Antioch until the Council of Jerusalem during the Feast of the Dedication in 49, Acts 15, Year 49, Edict of Claudius expelling the Jews from Rome, Acts 18 verse 1, Second mission of Paul in the year 50, Acts 15 verse 35, Foundation of the Church in Galatia, Macedonia, and Greece, Acts 16 to 17. Galion, proconsul in Corinth, in the years 51 and 52, Paul is brought to him. Paul remains in Corinth for a year and a half. Arrival and departure in mid-season from September 50, Acts 18 verse 1 to March 53, Acts 18 verse 18. 1 Thessalonians, 2 Thessalonians. April 53, Paul goes to Ephesus, by both to Caesarea, Jerusalem, and Antioch, Acts 18 verse 22. Year 54, death of Claudius. Nero succeeds him. Paul sets off again, beginning of 54, and visits Galatia, Acts 18 verse 23. In autumn, Paul is in Ephesus where he remains for 2 years and 3 months, Acts 19 verse 1. Year 56, most probably a trip to Corinth, 2 Corinthians 13 verse 2, then Paul is imprisoned in Ephesus. Pentecost 56, 1 Corinthians, Philippians. End of 56. Paul is liberated and struggles against the Judaic propaganda. Paul goes to Macedonia and then evangelizes Illyricum, Romans 15, verse 19, in Greece for the winter, 57 to 58. Galatians 2, Corinthians 10 to 13, Pentecost 57, 2 Corinthians 1 verse 9, letter of James, winter 57 to 58, Romans. February 58 goes to Philippi. At the end of the Passover week, Paul goes to Troas, Acts 26, encounter at Miletus, Acts 20 verse 7, arrives in Jerusalem for Pentecost, Acts 20 verse 16. Letter to Titus, 1 Timothy. At the end of the Pentecost week, Paul is taken prisoner at the temple, June 58. Letter of Peter. Felix, governor from year 52 to 60, he is replaced by Festus who dies in 62. Paul prisoner for 2 years in Caesarea, close to Felix, Acts 24, verse 27, in the year 60, soon after Festus' arrival, Paul appeals, Acts 25, leaves for Rome in September. September 58, 2 Timothy, Ephesians, Colossians, and Philemon. 60. Colossae is destroyed by an earthquake. 62. The high priest has James, the brother of the Lord, stoned to death. February 61. Paul arrives in Rome. Acts 28 verse 11. Letter to the Hebrews. 63. End of the captivity of Paul. Acts 28 verse 30. Paul might have gone to Tarragona, Spain, as he had wished. Romans 15 verse 28. Gospel of Matthew. 64. Burning of Rome and persecution of the Christians. 64 or 65. Peter and Paul martyred. 63 or 64. Most probably in Greece, Luke publishes the Gospel and the Acts. 66. Jewish war. Christians and Jerusalem try to flee to Pelia. In Rome, Gospel of Mark. 70. Conquest of Jerusalem and burning of the temple. Around 90. The preaching of Gnostic Nicolaitans in the province of Asia. Towards 95 to 98, John, already in Asia, is exiled at Patmos. 81. Persecution of the mission. In Ephesus, John confronts the preaching of Cyrene. Revelation of John. 98. Emperor Trajan in Rome. Letters and Gospel of John.